North Carolina State Wolfpack, Chase Tew.
Go Pack, baby.
How you've been able to work for one company, John Deere, for 26 years.
You don't stay with companies that you're not happy with, that don't have a bigger purpose, a bigger mission. And I think John Deere is all about that. Then we're kind of centralized decision making, decentralized decision making. So there's a lot of we make decisions at our levels for our products, and so John Deere's good about that, letting us run our businesses. Connecting's easy. It's what are you connecting to and why. That has to be the real value proposition. And so we've been working on that for 2 or 3 years. There's a difference in being on the bleeding edge and the leading edge, and I think our goal is kind of to be on the leading edge. We don't want to be behind. We're not behind, but we're ready when the market's ready. We don't exist without them. They're very good at what they do. We've got a lot of people working hard every single day to try to earn the opportunity to be the brand of choice for their business.
Welcome to Louisville, Kentucky. We are here in the John Deere booth at the biggest trade show in the lawn care and landscaping industry, and returning North Carolina State Wolfpack, Chase Tew.
Go Pack, baby.
Welcome back.
Thank you, man. Glad to be here. Glad you're in our booth this year.
Yeah, thank you for taking it more grand this year. This is awesome.
Man, we're excited to have you here, and all your guests coming through. We just wanted to provide a great venue for you to be able to set up, do your thing, right, in the John Deere booth, and not have to move around so much. So hopefully that's working out.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. I want you to share with lawn care business owner, landscaping business owner, how you've been able to work for one company, John Deere, for 26 years, because we're struggling. It's hard to find one labor to work 1 year.
Yeah.
And coming back a second year is near miraculous in this industry, and you've worked for the same company for 26 years. Tell us that story.
Man, there's a lot of us that's been around 26 years or so. Culture, it kind of starts. You don't stay with companies that you're not happy with, that don't have a bigger purpose, a bigger mission. And I think John Deere is all about that. We're connected to people that work the land, whether it's in the agricultural space, they're kind of feeding the world, or whether it's in the construction space when they're kind of building the infrastructure for the world, or in the landscape space, right, they're beautifying the world. And I think that has meaning throughout. And I think so it's about connecting your business to the bigger purpose, and then connecting it to the individual employee. Like, what's your role? How do you contribute? And then being transparent with them. It's like, hey, the business we're struggling, we're doing good. Here's how we can help, right? I think transparency and openness always matters. So, yeah.
How'd you get
26
your
years.
original start 26 years ago? How did they hire a young Chase out of North Carolina State?
So my dad owned a small business. He actually owned a Napa store. So I grew up kind of serving the agricultural industry, changing tires, changing oil, working a parts counter. Was an ag engineer by education, and then was kind of working back with my dad for a little bit and wanted to do something different. And believe it or not, I got hired out of a newspaper ad. Can you imagine? I was probably one of the last people at John Deere hired through a newspaper ad. And so I was just looking through, job openings, and they were building a new factory in Fuquay Varina, North Carolina. So it's called John Deere Turf Care. That was in 1997. And some people, they just had some job openings, and so they had just a local employment fair that was advertised in the paper, and I went and applied and got hired because of my technical background. I actually got hired in what we call DTAC. So my first job was picking up phone calls from our dealers, answering questions, and helping our technicians solve technical problems about challenges with machines. And so just kind of spiraled from there.
At what point did you set out to be like, you know what, I want to work here long term?
It's funny, man. When you grow up in a small community, you go to work for a company like John Deere, you don't understand what you're getting into, right? And the opportunities that are out there, with locations around the world, whether it's in sales and marketing or product development or supply management or order fulfillment, right? There's all these different swim lanes that you can go down. And so I had been there a couple of years and a couple of different roles, and then a guy really took me under his wing and said, hey, man, I think I see something in you, and you're a technical guy, but you can talk to customers, and love engineers, but not every engineer's very able to communicate extremely well.
Well said.
And I had worked parts and stuff, so I just knew how to kind of just come across with people, and so So I went down to Florida to be a territory business manager down there at the urging of my coach and mentor. And if you want to be, be a John Deere territory manager in Florida, you got to learn how to do three things, right? You got to learn how to sell tractors to sugarcane farmers, right? You got to learn how to sell lawnmowers to landscape contractors, right? Mm-hmm. And then you got to learn how to sell parts to everybody.
Yeah.
And I just kind of succeeded at that. And then I spent some time in Atlanta, Georgia after that, and did some mergers and acquisitions with our dealers and loved that aspect. And then just kind of spiraling. Next thing you know, 20 years under my belt. And now
Where did you live at in Florida?
I actually lived in Claremont,
Okay.
Florida. Yep. So a little bit northeast of Orlando.
Okay.
So yeah, I was the territory manager for John Deere for basically Ocala, Gainesville South.
Mm-hmm.
So I had all of Florida down there.
And then what about in Atlanta?
So in Atlanta, I had kind of a four-state geography. So I had kind of Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, and South Carolina, and did dealer mergers and acquisitions. So at that time, we were doing dealers that wanted to buy and sell and kind of get big and grow, and then others that didn't have a succession plan. So I did that for 2 or 3 years. Actually, a really engaging job, right? I mean, just dealers work hard every day for their customers, just like landscape contractors do for theirs, and so it's very rewarding. Again, I kind of had that link from my dad being a Napa dealer, so I knew what that kind of looked like and felt like from their perspective, and was just able to help them. And then the same coach and mentor that encouraged me to go to Florida was in the role that I'm in now and needed a right-hand man, and he called me up and he was like, hey, I really like what you've done so far with your career, and I want you to come back and kind of help me. And so that was a great opportunity for me to come back to North Carolina. At the time, my kids were getting ready to start school, and we kind of wanted to not be so transient anyway. So it's a perfect fit, man. That was 2007. It's now 2024, and I've been in and around the green industry from a lot of different aspects ever since.
How many years have you been coming to Louisville for Equip Expo?
Every year since 2007.
Really? So all right. So I started coming in 2017, and we started promoting it on social media. I was just talking to the show out there to keep doing what you're doing, because the attendance is exploding because folks are talking about it online. But give us the timeline from 2007, because the show's on fire now. It's exploding, but you've been around way longer than I've been coming here.
Yeah, so our first year, I won't say our first year. The first year I kind of had responsibility for it was 2007. We were kind of back over here in the corner in a much smaller footprint. And I said, hey, we need to get us up closer, increase our footprint, get us by the front door. Mm-hmm. But that the wall back there, as you start to transition to the back hall, was in 2007 where it stopped.
Wow.
So it was from there to this back wall, and this wing was really, really the first and only spot. So probably 2012, 2013, they took over the back hall and expanded. And then when the hardscapes come on board, I don't know what year that was, that's when it just kind of blossomed. And so now it's kind of the show for everything in this business. I mean, this industry is $150 billion, man. I mean, there's a lot of vendors that participate in that, and there's a lot of landscapers that need to come and check out not only the mowing equipment, but all the hardscape trends and all the lighting and irrigation trends and all the other things that's going on in this space. So it's awesome.
You guys now aren't in that corner over there anymore. You're right when you come in the main door, and this booth is huge. You got lights under the mowers. You guys have so much attention to detail. Your staff has been very, very hospitable to us. They've been fantastic to work with. How much effort goes into this, and why do you place such an importance of having such an awesome show here at Equip?
Well, I mean, it's about the brand, right? I mean, John Deere's 180 plus years old, and you don't get to be that old by making bad products or doing things the wrong way. And so certainly this is a brand show for us, but it's also a product show for us. And I think it's hard to kind of blend those two together. And luckily, Jennifer from our shows and events team, there's a lot of other people as well, but she's been working on this show with me since 2007. We were both newbies in 2007, and so this was our kind of first opportunity to work together, and we've worked together ever since. And this is her vision, man. She just keeps upping the ante. There's a lot of stakeholders here, from our mowing products to our utility vehicles to our skid steers and mini X's to our Gator utility vehicles. And so it's hard to merge all that together in a meaningful booth and with purpose. And they just do a fantastic job. They're really good at what they do.
Yeah, I met Jennifer earlier, and this booth it's awesome. You were joking earlier, but when we have to set up the camera, tear down the equipment, go somewhere else, set it back up, tear it down, set it up, tear it down. This is so convenient to set up at the beginning of the day, tear down at the end of the day, and create amazing content for you. So it's a win-win. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's great that you can just continue to roll people in and out, and not have to set up and tear down. And we enjoy having you guys here. I mean, it's great to have the content here, but it's also good to just your podcast here, and you bring a lot of diversity of guests to your show, and we love having them part of the booth as well.
Cool. Now, how's North Carolina faring from Helene? How far is that from where you live?
Yeah, so we're in the central part of the state, kind of the Raleigh area. We got a lot of rain, much needed rain, but and a few random tornadoes, so nothing major from our side. The western part of the state they're pretty beat up, man. Those people they're in bad shape right now. They need some help for sure. So we were just up in the mountains 2 weeks before this happened. If you live in North Carolina, you're fortunate enough you can be at the coast in 3 hours, and you can be at the mountains in 3 hours. And so we go both directions, depending on the weekend and when we have free time. And so we had free time, my wife and I, and a couple other friends. And so we were up there a couple weeks, actually right where it's kind of the worst part. And
what mountain was that?
Yeah, so we were up in the Boone area. My son's he's a college kid, and so he's got friends at Appalachian State, and so he's connected up there, and we've just spent a lot of time up there over the years, and it's unfortunate what's going on up there, and hopefully those are resilient people, though, man. They'll be back for sure.
Now, explain to me, I know it's called Moline, Illinois. That's where the world headquarters is, but I've been talking to folks who are like, I'm from Kansas City, I'm from North Carolina. Can you kind of explain John Deere's operations, why so many of you are in different cities? Yeah,
so we're a company of roughly 80-ish thousand employees globally, depending upon how you want to look at it. So we're split up kind of in two ways. We're split up by division. So we've got our construction and forestry division, and then we've got our ag and turf division. So just think about it by color. So ag and turf's kind of everything green and yellow, and construction's everything yellow. And then we have our operational units, which is our factories. So we got our manufacturing footprint around the world. Obviously, most of that here in the U.S. as well. And then we have sales regions. And so we have 4 sales regions around the world. We have our U.S., Canada, and Australia sales region. So that's kind of one. Then we have our South America sales region. We have our European sales region and our Asian sales region. And then so U.S. and Canada sales headquarters is run out of out of Kansas City. Sorry.
Okay.
And so that's kind of the green and yellow sales and marketing center, which is separate from headquarters. HQ is HQ. So that's where CEO and all the executive staff sit. But then we're kind of centralized decision making, decentralized decision making. So there's a lot of we make decisions at our levels for our products, and so John Deere's good about that, letting us run our businesses. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, what else you got new? Oh, before I ask you that, the golf mowers. I don't see them here. I'm a big golfer, and I see these gigantic John Deere mowers, and then it cuts like this, the reel.
Yeah.
But I don't see them here. Is that the golf division? Is a different one?
So there's a show like this that's much smaller, but it's called the GCSAA, and it's geared specifically for the golf course industry, golf course superintendent show. That's in San Diego coming up in February. You want to come out and check us out? We'll be there.
Okay.
As of August 1st, I actually took responsibility for golf product development. So I've got all of our commercial mowing and golf product development. But yeah, those machines are kind of purpose-driven for golf courses. There is a little bit of overlap for contractors that have sports management contracts, either sports fields or soccer fields or lacrosse, things like that. There's a handful of contractors that will use real mowers, but predominantly that's a golf product, right?
Yeah, well, I love when I'm out golfing, I see a John Deere mower on the green. I mean, it's amazing how tight they can get that, grass. It's awesome.
I never had an appreciation for that. I'm not a huge golfer. I appreciate the game, but I just didn't grow up playing it. But since I've taken over that piece of the business about 90 days ago, it is a very complex cutting system. To maintain healthy grass at sub-quarter of an inch.
And not scalp it.
And not kill it. I mean, they're cutting it every day too. I mean, it's that's an art. There's a reason why golf superintendents very much have an apprenticeship type of culture. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, we got golf courses. Not to turn this into a golf a golf podcast, but I'm just amazed at kind of the effort that goes into that. I mean, I've seen golf courses that are kind of aerating once or twice a week certain things, and then they're top dressing every Monday or something, and it's crazy what goes into the maintenance of a golf course, a really high-end, well-maintained golf course for sure.
Yeah, totally. Well, what do you guys got new here this year?
Yeah, so a couple things. One, we're building on. So last year when you and I talked, we introduced our new Q800 series stand-on products. Been extremely well received in the market. We've got some fantastic customers this year that have given us some great feedback on the products. So we're doing a couple of portfolio extensions there. So we've got 2 new models. We've got a 60-inch rear discharge. So it's kind of one of the first in the stand-on space that you can kind of stand up and have trim edge on both sides, which is really kind of cool to experience that. And then we've got our new 72-inch offering. So this is the first time we've ever offered a 72 on a stand-on. So we're just kind of building on the successful launch of last year for our stand-ons. And then we've got a new portfolio of EFIs on our Z900 sit-down Z-Tracks. And so we've got 4 new SKUs there, starting at a 30.5 horse Cowie. And then for the first time ever, we're bringing three Vanguard options at the high-end horsepower EFI, with a 33, a 37, and a 40. So if you want horsepower and that's your thing, we got you covered, man. Particularly EFI as well. So
and what one of those are outside? Because I've been in the indoor booth all the time podcasting.
Yeah.
But what's going on outdoors?
Yeah, so we've got a full ride and drive outside. Everything from our new mowers, pretty much all of them. I won't say all of them because we got a lot of SKUs, but a good portfolio. We've also got utility vehicles. Her skid steers, got some compact tractors out there as well. So if you want to ride and drive and you're here locally and get the opportunity to see this, go check us out outside, man. We got a lot of product out there.
You've been around this industry for 26 years, and it sounds like you were even a part of it in many ways before then.
Yeah.
Get in here to John Deere. What do you think the future of the lawn care landscaping industry is?
That's a challenging question. I think there's a couple of things. One, I think good OEMs have to continue to make really rock-solid products that contractors can have confidence in that it's gonna run and operate and last and make them money day in and day out. So I think that's fundamentally still the foundation of the industry. And then it's going to continue to evolve in terms of where technology makes sense. So one of the things we're focusing on this year is our connectivity effort. So people have said for a long time, well, you guys have connected machines on the ag side, and on the construction side. What's going on here? Connecting's easy. It's what are you connecting to and why that has to be the real value proposition. And so we've been working on that for 2 or 3 years. And I think our new connectivity solutions, which is building upon the agricultural solution of our ops center base. So we've got a lot of investment over that in the last 20 years. Allows contractors to understand their asset utilization. So if you're a regional or a multi-regional or even a national, you can pull up your equipment, see all the hours, see the asset utilization, understand if if Florida's needing equipment, but you got underutilized assets in Ohio, you can quickly pick that up and understand, the CapEx value prop of that is like, hey, let's not buy anything, let's just put it on a truck and redeploy it somewhere else. And I think our connectivity option allows that visibility of fleet. So that's kind of one. Certainly autonomy. I think electrification, we're still really early on. I think the buzz is really important, and I think you got to be environmentally there. But there's a difference in being on the bleeding edge and the leading edge, and I think our goal is kind of to be on the leading edge of we don't want to be behind. We're not behind, but we're ready when the market's ready, and we're still working through the economics of whether electric makes sense or not. So.
Right. For the machines that you currently have, available on market, maybe it's beyond what someone can afford right away, but they want to get into it. Can you explain a little bit about, how John Deere can make that happen? And
yeah, that's a great question. So we're very fortunate that we've got John Deere Finance, so we don't have to rely on kind of outside floor plan or retail financing. So John Deere Finance, our internal finance group, does all of our floor planning and retail financing out of Johnson, Iowa. So we can be super creative from leases. I think we've got one of the best lease options out there, which is kind of, hey, you're only paying for the usage, so you're paying that difference in residual value and what your acquisition price is. We can do skip payments, we can do seasonal payments, so we can offer a lot of flexibility for both startup as well as established landscape contractors. So if cash flow is your thing and you generate it at the end of the season, but you don't want to make payments through the off season when the grass is not mowing, guess what? We can account for that, and we can accommodate you, and have payments start in March or April, and just kind of catch up when your cash flow is good and when you're making money. So. And
what's the dealer network like? How does somebody who maybe isn't at Equip Expo but they want to test out a new John Deere mower, what's that look like?
Yeah, we got over 2,200 independent John Deere dealers that help us. They are our face to our customers. We don't exist without them. They're very good at what they do. They're all factory trained, 24/7, 365-day part guarantees. So we spend a lot on the customer support side of this, and our dealers are the biggest piece of that. And so again, can't overemphasize how important the dealer is to us and our brand, as well as we don't exist without them. So they make it happen every day. They're the ones when a machine breaks, and guess what? They all break. They're the ones that are looking after the customer, getting them up and running, trying to get them the loaner, get the part in, get it repaired, and back out as fast as possible. I don't do that sitting at the factory where I work every day. It's our dealers that are on boots on the ground making that happen. So
cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Chase, for making it happen for our team to come to the John Deere booth this year and just set up shop each morning and create all this awesome content for you. So we appreciate you giving us this opportunity.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you being here, and check us out. We've got a lot of people working hard every single day to try to earn the opportunity to be the brand of choice for their business. And so we'd welcome the opportunity for anybody that hadn't tried John Deere and might be watching this. Give us a shot, man. We're in it for the long haul, and we make good products.
Is there anything else we're leaving out here that needs addressed?
Yeah, I don't think so. We've covered a lot of ground.
All right. Well, I really appreciate it. Chase is a friend of the show. Appreciate you having us out here, and thank you.
Thank you. Good luck. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Improve your golf game. Let's see you in San Diego, baby.
All right, yeah.
Open invitation.